Hello.
Hi.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I unmuted. There we go. Sorry about that. Let us know if you can hear us now. What I was going to say is it is Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's the Bead Places weekly live party. Ooh, ooh, pardon the awkwardness at the beginning. We have awkwardness because, as always, things are a little bit different this week. We have a special guest, Emme Rylan. Yes, that Emme Rylan. Celebrity Emme Rylan is here with us. So we're going to bring her on.
Yay!
Hello!
Yay! Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you. So we are going to be doing something super fun this weekend. We are going to be doing the Great Bead Extravaganza, which, if you're new to the Great Bead Extravaganza, it is a whole weekend long virtual bead show. So let's do some hearts in chat for Great Bead Extravaganza.
Yay!
So Em has graciously accepted our invitation to be our celebrity guest presenter. So her presentation is going to be this Sunday. Yep. And I am going to put the schedule on the screen for just a second. And while I do that, what I want you guys to do, if you're watching at home, I want you to take a screenshot of the schedule. That way you have it handy. So if you're watching on your phone, you can screenshot it there. Or if you know how to do like the print screen thing on a real computer, you can do that. Okay, I'm going to show it and I'm going to bring us off, but I promise I'll bring us back. Oh, there we go. All right, we're back.
We're back.
Yay. So, if you're like, what in the world is the Great Bead Extravaganza? Well, there are a handful of industry leading presenters and designers that are mostly centered around the jewelry making world. And we are doing free hour-long classes all weekend long. If you would like a sneak peek of the Great Bead Extravaganza's presentations, you can join us for a preview party this Friday night. So check that schedule that you just screenshotted to find out what time that is in your time zone, because I'm not going to do that conversion for you because I'd probably mess it up if I tried.
The Bead Extravaganza has a website and a Facebook group you can go to.
Yeah, so the best way to watch the presentations is either on the Great Bead Extravaganza's Facebook page, which might be where you're watching this now, or you can watch it on the Great Bead Extravaganza's YouTube channel. Which we will have linked for you in the comments. So that brings us to the presentations. Em, what are you planning on doing for your presentation?
Okay, I have been working on a pattern. I'm wearing it right now, so you're getting a little sneak peek. Hold on.
Ooh.
Okay, I am 5 feet tall. I have wanted to make knit and crocheted shrugs, something light that I could wear in the summer, something, heavy in the winter, but I am so short. For me, a shrug pattern never works because there's rarely shaping around the shoulders. So I've made it in a million colors, which I will show you. I am going to walk you through basically from beginning to end, how to make a summer shrug. You could do it in a heavier yarn and be ready to wear it in the fall, but you're gonna get all the info. So that's what we're gonna do. I know, I'm really excited.
Yeah, so you are a crochet pattern designer.
Yes.
And you also are a jewelry maker as well. So I feel like you have the best of both worlds for summer fashion because you can customize everything to be perfect.
It's true. It used to be, so I started just as a hardcore knitter. And that's what I learned first. And then every summer, spring, I would start crocheting because I love crocheted summer bags. Yeah. And now it has crossed into what can I make that I've always wanted in terms of summer crochet wear that's like right for everybody type. Yeah. So this is my first summery crocheted pattern. I spend a lot of hours in my dressing room, a lot of hours. So this is kind of where the love of yarn and jewelry making, that's kind of like where it took place. Just sitting there for hours, making pretty stuff.
Very cool. So you said dressing room. I feel like probably everybody in chat knows who you are and what you do. But for those of us that are not, what am I trying to say? Not us, because I know who you are. But for those
I know what you mean. No, I know what you mean. Okay, so I'm an actress. I've been working professionally since high school. The most recent jobs where I spent about 20 years in daytime TV. So it was Guiding Light for all of my Guiding Light people. Loved it. So it was Guiding Light for many years, and then Young and the Restless for many years, and then General Hospital for 7 more years. My character is currently in a coma. I believe that my TV husband is falling in love with another woman while I'm right. So, the soap world was just a lot of time, downtime in my dressing room. Before daytime, I did a cheerleading movie. Movies are even more time in your dressing room because you might only film 3 pages of a movie in one day. So I've been a maker since I was a kid. I started hand sewing machine, but the knitting became something that I could carry it with me so I could do it on set. But I did get to the point where I had like 3 sewing machines set up at Guiding Light. So I'm sure everybody knows. And I was like, screw portable. I'm bringing it all here. And they would hear me. And I lived most of my life in New York City. And again, having crocheted projects, specifically any type of granny square, something where you can just stuff it in the bag. So, I mean, I could give you 1,000 reasons why you should knit or crochet. Yeah. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out how to carry my beads with me in the car while Dawn's driving.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like you could help me with that.
A little pouch.
That's what I need. That thing that hangs.
Yeah.
I can just dip it in.
Have you
it's the best because then you can design things that match. You can make the jewelry to match. Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever done bead crochet, like with a teeny tiny little crochet hook and seed
No, not really. Okay, you know that I just now entered the world of seed beads.
Yes.
So it was the same with yarn. I started with very, very chunky yarn because I needed the instant gratification. So I want to finish that scarf in 1 hour. And I was like, I would never use needles that small or a crochet hook that small and then cut to I'm like a 3.5, my crochet hook working very small. And so the same thing happened with jewelry. So I've just been working my way down and now it's like midnight and I'm just picking up the world's smallest seed beads and it's so satisfying. So I have not crocheted with them. I've crocheted and I've knit with bigger beads. Sometimes, when you pre-string them or when you're crocheting, you can dip and pick them up. So that's kind of the way I've worked beads into my crocheting, but I think I'm ready. I'm ready for the tiny ones.
The tiny ones. Well, if you need a little bit of help and support through that, we are here to help.
100%. You've already changed my life with all the wire work. I can't stop. Actually, it's all your fault that I can't stop. I was like, I think I'll just make a necklace. And she's like, let me teach you the right way to do it. And 2:00 in the morning, I'm like, I made 40 necklaces. But it's true. You're a fantastic teacher and it's been really helpful. So
you're so sweet. So speaking of making 40 necklaces in one night, you have an Etsy shop, right?
I do. I opened my Etsy store in 2011. I would knit, and I'd make things and make things. And then for everyone that knows me, you know that I'm almost always in my pajamas. Not tonight. I put jeans on. I had like nasty sweatpants and I was like, okay, like just stop yourself. There's a chance they could see it. So I would knit these like cable things sitting in the dressing room at Young and the Restless. And I'd come home and I would stuff it in a plastic bin and put it in the garage. And one day, it was all Dawn. Dawn was like, you don't wear any of the things you make. I'm like, it's not about that, Dawn. It's about the creative outlet. Yeah. And he was like, well, there's a lot of it now. Do we keep it all? And so that day I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to post it all like on Etsy. That'll be so fun. I mean, one of my very best friends and fellow yarn lover called me immediately and she's like, did I just see that cape posted for $10? Like the yarn was $10 a ball. Like I didn't do it right at first. I was like, oh, I'll move it all out. And the response was fantastic. And so I did have to actually start to price it so that, it didn't cost me money to make each item. Yeah. But that day we were like, we didn't have a return address. So in 24 hours, we got a P.O. box. Dawn made me a logo. We got packaging. It was the only way I was going to do it. I had to just get pushed off the cliff. Yeah. But, it's been it's just the best because it justifies whatever craft I'm into. Mm-hmm. I could just be like, yeah, it's just for Etsy. Like I need all of this. It's running a business. Yeah. And one of my favorite things to work with is faux Sherpa fabric. Ooh. I use it on my serger, my baby lock serger. That is the love of my life. So every Christmas, I get like bolts and bolts and bolts of this stuff. And as it goes through the serger, for those of you that don't sew, this is a machine that sews and cuts the edge at the same time. So faux Sherpa is flying through the air. And then they're really big. So the packaging is enormous. And our entire living room looks like a shipping factory. And I'm lint rolling the children as they're leaving for school. And Dawn's like, this is out of control. I'm like, this is a business, Dawn. Yeah, I have to do this. So
it looks like a winter wonderland with all the snow falling, all the fun.
Exactly. Dawn would say that it actually more looks like possibly a dead cat. But I'm just going to start to sprinkle it over him and be like, see, it's snow. This was actually this Christmas, because we've been traveling a lot, was the first Christmas I didn't do it in about 10 years. And I was like, you have to be honest. You miss all that fluffy goodness. I think you did. So Etsy's just been the best. I close it, like I put it on hold whenever work is busy, but man, was that a great outlet during COVID. I mean,
I bet. Yeah.
I was like, I've been preparing for this.
Yeah.
Global pandemic my entire life. Lock me in the house and let me make stuff.
Right. Yeah. So you mentioned COVID. The Great Bead Extravaganza actually started during COVID.
Oh, wow.
And I am gonna, I'm gonna take you off solo layout just for a second.
Because people couldn't go to the bead shows because there were no bead shows.
Exactly. So a lot of small businesses during COVID were having a hard time. And so a lot of us just got together and decided we'll create a place for people to have community and learning and education. And we wanted it to be free access. So a lot of people, of course, were struggling during that time. And we had no idea that many years later we would still be doing this and growing and having even more fun than
because
ever.
Even before COVID, I would get messages from people all the time talking about, I don't have a local yarn shop. Yeah. There isn't a local knitting group or a local crochet group. Like, the majority of people, it's just not in their town or not in driving distance. My dear friend Kirsten Storms and I started to do crochet alongs and knit alongs online during that time. And it was the best. It was like, we didn't need to be trapped in our house to still really need this, and to be able to be inspired by not just the place in your town, but the whole world.
Yeah. It's
we had so much fun. Kirsten and I need a fall crochet along for sure.
Oh, that would be awesome. I just want to highlight Wanda's comment real quick. Wanda says, loved Em and Kristen's knit and crochet videos.
Oh.
So we've got some fans in chat. So your presentation for the Bead Extravaganza is Sunday. For those of you that are just joining in, we have a weekend full of presentations. I'm going to spotlight what we're going to be doing on Sunday morning. And
I need.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna link.
Sorry, my phone rang. I don't know what that just did to the Zoom.
You're good. We still gotcha. So Becky's going to be showing a couple of the colorways. We have kits available for this project. So this is a great, kind of like entry into jewelry making project. Even if you've never touched tools before, all you need is either your cutter and round nose pliers, or if you have a one-step looper tool, that makes it even easier. So this is our summer road trip necklace kit for our presentation Sunday morning. The kits are either $29.95 or $39.95. The price difference between them is because one of the colors has actual, genuine, high quality turquoise in it. So Becky's showing you that one right now. But this is a super beginner friendly project. And if you're not able to watch the presentations for the Great Bead Extravaganza during the live stream, everything will be available for replay. So someone is asking, is this really live? Yes, Bonnie, this is really live. And all of the presentations this weekend for the Great Bead Extravaganza will be live as well. So it's a lot of fun to chat and ask questions. And it's just a lot of fun. So we're going to bring everybody back on. Now, talking about how you were sewing Sherpas, I'm wondering, I hope it's okay to ask a couple questions.
Please do, yes.
I'm wondering if you ever had to make last minute alterations of any of your
do you
clothing.
want to know? Like my regular clothing?
Like when you were on your on set, if they knew you had sewing machines and they brought
they would never. No, they wouldn't let me. They unfortunately have always had to tailor my clothes because I might be the shortest person on daytime television. I'm definitely shorter than my children on the show. So everything was already altered. And my main focus pretty much forever has been handbags and accessories, jewelry, handbags, and then sometimes sweaters. Yeah. I can't resist, but they won't let me sew my clothes.
Boo.
I've worn my jewelry on shows.
Oh, that was going to be my next question. Yeah. Yep. Do you have any specific memories of jewelry that you made that was shown on any of the TV shows? Or
there's one on General Hospital. It pops out because I was so excited. I'm always on the hunt for like great charms. And it was just this like where they hammer the metal, like rectangle gold charm that I fell in love with and I was so excited about. I could actually probably find a screenshot, or someone probably has a screenshot that I wore in the hospital on General Hospital. Yeah, that's cool. The one I think of.
What was your character's name on General Hospital?
Lulu Spencer Falconeri.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's very fancy.
That is fancy.
I want to show, you know what, I speaking of sneak peeks, I just want to show a couple color combos of this.
Totally, yeah.
Just so people can get an idea. Okay, because this was actually my most recent one. So this was my kind of like boho. Okay, all right, we got to be real. How did this version happen? We just went on family vacation. We get in the car. It's total madness. My kids are fighting. Everyone's being crazy. Yes, I just outed you guys for fighting. Just saying. So you all get in the car and we drive away. And I was like, don't have my yarn bag. I don't have my yarn bag. I'm going to be sitting. We're going to be in the car for 8 hours. So we had an emergency. We had an emergency Joanne stop in the middle of Illinois, and then I hated what I bought. So then we had an emergency Michael stop in Ohio, and I was like, I just have to make something. So this one, I wanted to not have to change colors in my squares because I was in the car. So I just grabbed one ball of each color. And I think part of my process in writing a pattern, and part of the reason why I started is whenever I'm doing a pattern, I'm always like, oh, they should have given me the exact count. Like I'm very tedious about everything being pre-planned. I write it down, I check each box. And so the last 2 years, I've been trying to be a little more free-spirited. It's really hard. So I grabbed one of each color. This was very difficult for me. And now, of course, it's my favorite one. So, okay.
It's
so
gorgeous.
this is my boho one. Then this is how it all started.
Ooh.
Wait, so I have pieces undone because I'm going to be showing different steps along the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so on Sunday. So this one is, I wear a lot of black. I actually went completely off the deep end with the black and white. I've got gloves, I've got a matching scarf and everything. And then I got into the shoulder shaping. So you could do a version like this for all of my people that just want to do solid. I just made a simple one. Actually, it's completely worn out because I've worn it to death. And then this one, I actually am finishing today. I may pull this apart. This may be part of the demo on Sunday. I love this one so much. Okay, so we went with a little bit longer sleeve. And this is to show you how, if you want to make the traditional granny square changing colors every row.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. They are actually, you see, it's actually rectangles instead of granny squares.
Oh, clever.
So this is another. Oh my God.
That's gorgeous.
So you will have, I'll be able to tell you how to do it in varying weights of yarn, and there's just minimal things to change. So this would be really good for stash yarn that you've been wanting to get rid of, if you have enough of one color or a mismatch of colors. So I've done it. I want to say each of these has been like a light worsted weight to like a light bulky. So you'll be able to work it in a bunch of different yarns, but I just wanted to show everybody their options.
They're so gorgeous. And
excited.
I just want to comment on your beautiful necklace real quick. Your necklace looks beautiful, especially with the shawl that you have on.
I made it today.
So pretty.
Because I can't stop. Thank you.
Yeah. I just think it's so awesome how you can kind of get the same vibe with the jewelry that you make and the fiber arts projects.
Beads and yarn play well together.
They really do. How many times do you find yourself, you like get your yarn out that you chose for a project, and then you look over and you realize that the thing you were making out of beads is the exact same colorway, and you're like, oh, okay, this is the palette I'm into right now.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. So Kim asks, what size crochet hooks?
I'm gonna have you using an 8mm.
Okay.
That's pretty much, it's pretty big. I keep remaking this because I like to make things 5 or 6 times before really finishing the patterning, sending it out. And I keep being like, this can't be right. I have to use a smaller hook. And I keep making, like, I just made a rectangle today on a 7 because a 7mm is my favorite crochet hook. But every time I write a pattern with a 7, I get in trouble because I think a 7 is hard to get our hands on. Not all the stores sell it. Right. But I tried the 7 today. I was like, no, it's the 8. So that's what I'm using. But I will give you a gauge rectangle measurement, which no one wants to do a gauge swatch. We're going to do a gauge swatch. So I'm a I'm not a tight crocheter. So yeah, I mean, the best thing to do is to kind of have like a 7, 8, and 9 available because depending on your gauge.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
stressed you are that day.
Like, oh, exactly. If I'm watching a scary movie with Dawn, it completely changes. I have to be like, okay,
yeah,
you're messing up my project.
I'm a super tight knitter, and I have to always remind myself to loosen up a little bit. And I can kind of tell when the last couple rows that I did were when I was kind of stressed out or on edge, because sometimes I knit so tight that I can't even shove the needle in there with.
See, I have to show you. I wish I had a knitting needle with me, because I have a theory on why people knit that tight.
Okay.
So I'll bring my knitting needles. So we'll show. It's something that when you wrap, I think that the yarn isn't going the whole way around your needle. So you're actually knitting smaller stitches than you think you are. So that when you go to your next row, you can't do it. I'll show you. I'll show you in person when I come pick up one of those necklace kits, because I'm going to need to make that.
Okay. Sounds good. Hey, and what is your favorite colorway of the necklace kits? Let me bring them back on screen. So
yes, yay. Okay, the beads at the yellow.
Oh, I kind of figured that might be
That's mine
favorite.
too.
I love it.
Yeah, and to those of you watching in chat, let us know which one of these is your favorite colorway as well. And then which of Em's shrugs is your favorite?
Yay.
We would love to have you.
I mean, I could really make all 3 of those.
Yeah.
But if I have to make only one, I'll start with the yellow.
Awesome. Well, do you have anything else you would like to share with us while we have you here?
Let me think. I think we pretty much covered everything. If anybody wants specific, you truly can use any worsted weight yarn, but this one was Lion brand. What is it? It doesn't pill. It doesn't. Wait, I can tell you. It's right here. Wait. Okay. Basic stitch. Okay, so this is basic stitch.
Is that a worsted weight?
Yes. Let's see. What does it say? Yes, it's a number 4.
Okay.
It's calling for a 5mm crochet hook. So you're going to look at this at the store and you're going to be like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
You're going to have to use an 8, you psychopath. So this was just, if you want to be able to look online, there's Hobby Lobbies. I love this yarn. I like this yarn. I love this yarn. That is a worsted weight. A friend of mine used it to make a sample for me. Okay. And then this guy was bulky, twisted bulky. This one is really fun. It's a little bit warmer because this is the light bulky weight, but it is a cotton blend.
Ooh.
So it has some like fun drape to it. And this was from Michael's, but you know what my next one is? I want one in mohair.
Ooh.
Oh,
that would be fun.
So I've actually been perfecting the pattern before you do it in mohair, because if you've ever knit or crocheted with mohair, you know that you're not pulling that back apart.
No.
So I was like, I got to know exactly what I'm doing before I get the mohair out. But that's it. I think so. Bring your yarn. Will my demo be something that they can watch again later?
Totally. Yep.
Okay, so you'll be able to get it, be able to make it from that, and you can also always message me on Instagram if you have questions.
Very cool.
I'll be available.
So your Instagram, I'm going to link it in chat for them. But while I'm doing that, would you mind sharing with the folks at home what other platforms you're on and what your screen names or apps are?
Okay, so that's a really good question. I could crochet you a laptop before I could use one correctly. So Instagram is just my name, Emme Rylan. Facebook, I'm like 99% positive that it's official Emme Rylan.
Okay.
I think someone had taken it. And then TikTok, a little bit. I need to be better with it. Mainly just do it to humiliate my son. So, and that's just my name. That's just Emme Rylan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then, so we linked Em's Etsy in chat earlier. We just linked Em's Instagram. And for those of you that don't use Instagram regularly, if you go to Em's profile, there's a link there that says Linktree/Emme Rylan. That's where you're going to find a lot of Em's other stuff that she has available. So Em's all over the place.
Yes, I'm really glad you brought that up. That's perfect. Yes, if you go to my Linktree, that will give you a direct link to everything that I'm doing.
Awesome. Very cool. Hey, Em, not to put you on the spot, but would you mind sending me some pictures of those shawls or those shrugs that you've made? Because I'd love to put them in the Great Bead Extravaganza Facebook group.
Oh, yay. Okay, yes. Oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow when I have natural light.
Yes, totally. And then to those of you that are watching that aren't yet a member of the Great Bead Extravaganza's Facebook group, I am going to link that for you while Becky tells you about the Great Bead Extravaganza for just a second.
Okay.
So the Bead Extravaganza is a quarterly event that a lot of the well-known beaders participate in, bead instructors participate in, and they design a new project and they show it off and they tell you how to do it, and all of it is live. But yeah, like we said before, all the videos are available later forever, so you can always go back to it and refer back to that. And everybody comes up with some really cool stuff. Every time I'm always amazed.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So all of the presentations are live on the Great Bead Extravaganza's Facebook page and on the Great Bead Extravaganza's YouTube channel. So those are the best places to watch live during the weekend and, of course, to find the replays. But the Facebook group for the Great Bead Extravaganza is the best place to find all of the bonus, extra, fun content, where there's giveaways and sales, and there's places for you to post what you've made from the Great Bead Extravaganza presentations, or just any inspiration that you've gotten from the Great Bead Extravaganza. Mm-hmm. So we would love to invite you to join that group. It is a super fun community of creators. And then we, as the Bead Place, we have a Facebook group as well. It's called the Bead Place Facebook group.
Imagine that.
And then, Em, do you have a group or anything that you'd like to talk about?
I have a Patreon group. We Zoom live. We crochet. It's our knitting and crocheting group. This happened during COVID because I had the most fabulous yarn group that I would go to in person, and I wanted to create community. I mean, that's my favorite part of making stuff is connecting with other makers, which is why I'm so excited to be a part of this and to get to make all of the projects that everybody else is making. This is just like, it's the best. This is the best thing about being a crafter. So I do Zoom every Thursday night, and we knit, we crochet, we talk about our lives. We're like besties. So I can send you, that link tree is the link to my Patreon group. So you can always find me there too.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, everybody. This has been super fun. To any of the questions or comments that we missed, so sorry. The comments were flying through. So we'll go back and answer anything that we didn't get to answer live. If anybody has any questions about anything, feel free to message us. And either we can relay questions to Em, or if you want to ask Em any questions, you can find her over on Instagram. But just to recap, you'll need light worsted weight to kind of smaller, chunky side yarn, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That worsted weight to light bulky, and an 8mm hook. Yep.
Awesome. 8mm hook. Well, we'll see you all Friday night for the preview party. And we will see you Sunday morning for our presentation, and then Sunday afternoon for Em's presentation. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.
Thanks. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.